That's a whole nother interview, but I almost passed out and was like, I was at a kitchen table like this, and I was like, everything's spinning.
Joy FM is celebrating 20 years, and we're in Nashville talking to 20 of our good friends. Man, somewhere way near the top of the list, Chris Tomlin.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
Oh, it's so good to be here.
We were just kind of commenting, this is the first time we've ever sat like just eyeball to eyeball.
Right. Like,
it's good.
Yeah, this is really nice. There's no microphones in front of us, no computers.
This feels, and this is what we wanted, was just kind of friend to friend, right? Because as we're looking back over the last 20 years, the friendships, the songs, that's what bubbles up.
Yes.
And I feel like we've got a deep well of both.
Yeah. Well, first of all, congratulations, 20 years.
Thank you.
I mean, to do something for 20 years is saying something. You know, it takes a lot for it to have that, and just not only that, but just the growth. It's not just been hanging on for 20 years, right? But just, I know I've just watched this continual impact and more influence and more greater platforms and all those kind of things, and that's amazing. So this is awesome to celebrate that together here.
You know, I've watched the same for you.
Yeah, it's been 20 years for me, so we must.
Is it exactly 20?
Almost. I mean, it is a little bit. It depends on how you want to do math, right? My record deal was 2000, so this is 21 years.
Yeah.
But before that, if you talk about like all the ministry and playing music and writing songs, I mean, it's been a bit more than that. So, but right around the same time.
I put this up there as far as one of my things I just like to remind people of. We played your first song. Like, it's one thing, right, for people to now play a Chris Tomlin song.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean,
we've been with you
from the start,
from the beginning.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, and that's a fun journey because, yeah, you played the music that everybody else said, I'm not so sure about this worship stuff.
Even labels were telling you no.
Yes.
Record labels.
Yeah,
were telling not everyone, but a lot of people told you no.
Yeah. It was those early days are fun to think about because it felt like it was really groundbreaking days. You know, it's just being at this moment in time where there was this explosion of music in the church. There was an explosion of this thing that we now know as worship music. But I remember when I first started, I'd never even heard the term worship leader or worship music. I just loved writing songs that help people sing. And I grew up in a church where the music minister, we did 3 hymns. And he sang the first, second, and fourth stanza. I don't know if you remember those churches, and of the hymn. And then we sang the same 3 hymns, same 3 every Sunday. Right, pretty much it.
There were no Chris Tomlin songs to sing when you started, right? Like there were.
Yeah,
that's so wild.
So you know, but this explosion of worship music started happening in this around the world, and I was just writing those songs, never thinking it'd be a music career, never thinking I'd be an artist or what this has turned into. But yeah, and then it felt like, man, these songs took on their they took on their own grassroots kind of thing. You know, there was no, I didn't have publishers or things like that, or record labels, and these songs started taking off in a special way around the country, then around the world. And I was getting songs translated in different languages and saying, we were singing these songs. I mean, a little song, maybe people might remember one of the very first choruses I ever wrote as we fall down.
We were talking about that just yesterday. I love that song.
Yeah, it was. I wrote that in 1997. So back in the 1900s. Do you remember the 1900s? Back in the 1900s? 1990.
I refuse to answer that.
1997, I wrote that song. And, you know, I remember getting an email, in fact, from saying, hey, we've translated this in our language. We translated this, it was from Setswana in Africa to Spanish in South America. And I was thinking, what is happening? It wasn't people like pushing these songs or anything like that. It was just God just doing this. And I was just fresh out of college and thinking through all these. It was just an amazing time. But just say all this explosion. So all this music, I'm just trying to keep. For the longest time, I said the songs were the arrows out of the bow. Right? They were just flying way past where I could ever go to. And I spent most of my time traveling around the country trying to catch up with these songs. The songs were way ahead of me. No one knew who I was. No one cared. It was like, oh, you sing those songs that we sing in our church. I'm like, well, I've actually been writing some of these songs. They're like, what? And so then the whole industry, I guess the side of it started catching up with this, and it started changing things. And I remember we signed to this record deal, right? And we started putting these songs out, and it was like, these songs, this is not Christian, this is like Sunday morning things. We don't know how this fits on radio, that kind of thing. And so it was all those challenges at the beginning, but you guys being one of the first ones to say, no, we're going to play this, and look what the last 20 years. Look at the difference now, of like, it's pretty amazing, and I love how it feels like a lot of the same thing now. It wasn't like, I felt like at the beginning it was like, well, church music over here, and then Christian music, radio music's over here, and now it feels like it's one thing, and I love that, and I could be wrong on that, but that's just from my perspective of how I've seen things changing,
Do you feel like these songs are your songs still? Or like, are they, I mean, because you talked about like, I felt like something was happening much bigger than you, but you were like in the tornado, right? But someone was causing the wind.
Exactly.
Right? So, because I think of these, I love you, but I don't even really like think your name when we're in church and we're, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this feels like a worship song or whatever. Do they feel like your song still, or do they feel like there's something?
I love that question.
The church's song.
I love that question. I'd probably want to talk about this more than anything, because that is what I'm probably most grateful for. When people say, when I hear people say, when I'm in a concert in St. Louis or wherever, when they say, hey, we sing your songs at our church, or love singing your songs at our church, that means more to me than Grammys, than #1 songs, and anything, because it feels like at that point, when the song gets into, like, How Great Is Our God, or We Fall Down, I don't really think the average person sitting there singing in church is thinking, I'm singing a Chris Tomlin song.
Right.
And that's what's
right.
so special. It's gone past you as an artist. It's not attached to you anymore. It doesn't depend on you to be hip or cool, because I'm long past those days. Those days are gone. It doesn't depend on you to do anything. The song has become in the kind of fabric of church and become what people sing. You think about Amazing Grace, right? When people sing that, you don't think, wow, I'm singing a John Newton song, right?
Right.
It's just become a song that people sing, and to have a couple of those possibly in life, what could be greater than that? To think that long after I'm gone, maybe some of these songs may last, and I don't know that, but that's a special thing. And so I always pray for that, Sandi. I'm always like, okay, Lord, I always say there's good songs, great songs, and God songs, and I'm always praying for that touch of that God song, that thing that is, I mean, How Great Is Our God is a perfect example. There's nothing special about the song. It is really simple.
There's a simplicity. There's a profound simplicity.
It's so simple. I didn't create any new chords that anybody's never heard of, and I'm playing on acoustic guitar and just singing a simple little chorus. Yet there's some kind of touch of God that maybe is on there that causes people to feel something and sing something, and that's what I'm always praying for. I wish I could do that all the time, but I know that's in God's timing and His plan for that, and so I love that. I love seeing that over these years of writing, how some of these songs have just become way past me and are no longer, I feel, they're even attached to me, and I'm grateful and so thankful for being a part of these songs, but that they would become in people's lives like that is awesome.
Well, I hear a lot of songs, right? I play a lot of songs on the radio. I like a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I can hear one of them, and that's a great hook.
Yeah.
Or right, I love all that. But there aren't a ton of songs that I can go back and go, I had a moment with that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've told you before, like at the cross, right? Like there's that here. Like, man, that's just like, right? There's several of your songs that I'm just like, those are moment songs for me.
Yeah.
Right? Or even Name Above. I mean, I'm not going to try to sing your songs, but I'm just saying those are moments for me, right?
Yeah.
When you're writing a song, do you go, whoa? Do you have those moments when you write those songs? Or I don't know, because I have them when I hear, you know what I mean?
Yes, I think there's sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I mean, I went on back to How Great Is Our God. I was sitting reading Psalm 104. I believe it's Psalm 104. It says, I had my Bible open and said, "You, O Lord, are very great. You're clothed with splendor and majesty. You wrap yourself in light as a garment." And it has all these beautiful things that the Psalms do of praise to God, all these beautiful language. And it opens, "You, O Lord, are very great." And I had my guitar, and I was just singing, "How great is our God." And I didn't have, "And how great is our God. How great is our God." And being like the worship leader, I was at a church in Texas at the time. And I was acting like I was leading it in my apartment. I had an apartment, sitting on the sofa, and I was like, "How great is our God?" And I was like, "Sing with me, how great." I had no idea that would even be on the song. Fun, but like, and I was but looking at I didn't think anything about it. I just was singing out what was in the scripture there, just kind of a personal time. It didn't feel like, oh, this is a worldwide song. Sometimes I write a song though, and something comes along. He's speaking about at the cross, and when I was writing that with Ed Cash, and that line where your love ran red and my sin washed white, when that came across, I thought, okay, this is something. I felt something, and I just wanted to build the whole song around that line. You know, you find something, you're like, okay, this is the special thing to me. And I heard somebody say it a long time ago about songwriting, and they said, especially when songwriting is like a great photographer. Everybody's looking at the same mountain. The mountains haven't really changed. I mean, you look at the mountains, but the great photographers can take a picture of that mountain and help you see it in a different way. And like songwriting is, we're singing about the same holiness of God, the grace of God, the mercy. Everybody's singing about the same thing, but something about a songwriter and the way it's turned can make you see it in a different way. So that when your love ran red and my sin washed white, I was like, oh, that I can see that. Angel armies, whom shall I fear? That lyric helps me see. I know who goes before me, the God of angel armies. It's like, it makes me see. And I've said it a long time, but when you help people see, like for me, it's not so much about helping people sing as it is helping people see. And I think that's what worship is helping people see. Because when you see, you can't help but sing, right? You can't, when you really see, you can't help but worship. And that's what you're trying to do, is open people's eyes to see what is really true, how great God is.
See, you're not a songwriter. You're a photographer. I've never thought of that before.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Trying to help people see it in a different way. That's a good way. Yeah.
Doggone.
Yeah.
I thought I knew you. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Can we touch on your wife for a second? Y'all just had
Love to.
baby daughter number 3.
Yes.
Can we start there? How many diapers have you changed since the middle of December?
I've changed a lot of diapers in the last few weeks. We were just baby daughter's born, and yeah, she's in the newborn stage, and so yeah, it's 5-6 diapers a day, or every couple hours. It's
and you're that dad. You're the hands-on.
I love it. I've always weirdly, I like changing diapers. It's weird, and Lauren's like, and I always felt like that's been my time with them, like and with my other 2 girls, and I just sit there and I have fun with it. Right now, you don't have much fun with it because it's like she's Elle, our little one. She still doesn't know what's going on, so she doesn't like diaper changes. But as they get older, you can sit and kind of talk to them and things like that. But I'm in there, and I'm changing them all the time.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Daughter number 3.
3, yeah.
What have you, as a photographer, seen about your wife? That's going to stick with me forever. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You've ruined it for me now.
It's all right.
Or clarified it, one of the two.
Yeah.
What do you see, perspective-wise, from when your wife became a mom? And maybe it's even deeper layers as you have, baby number 1, baby number 2, baby number 3. But you fell in love with probably a lovely Lauren.
Yes.
Right? But what do you see in her today as mom of your 3 daughters?
Yeah, that love grows deeper and deeper with every child. And I told her that. I was like, just every child, it grows even deeper. And when you get married, you have no idea. You have no idea what they'll, you've fallen in love with them as a person and their friendship with you and the romance and all of that and how much you love them for that and just how they are with you. But you're like, you don't know exactly what their gifts are as a mom, or are they going to be engaged? Is that something they really love? They may say they love that, but when it really happens, and I'm telling you, just makes you, Lauren is just, she's so impressive, and just, she's, the way she loves our girls, the way she takes care of them, the way she is, like, it is, you see her give, you see how much she gives up a lot of just the other things in life to really focus on, and she's real about it. I mean, there'd be times where she just, you'd be crying, she's just like, I feel like, there's so much sacrifice to being a mom, and it's just part of it, and but she's willingly does it and wants to do it. And that sacrifice of like my life, my mission, my life is making sure that these three girls have everything they need, not material wise, but just from my mom and what they need. And I watch that, and just that protectiveness of like of the decision making now, and everything we do is about those girls. And so it makes me feel that just your love grows, because I'm like so grateful that God gave me a wife that has that kind of love for our girls. And our girls are going to know who they are. They're going to be, I know that I can already tell, they just shine because they have a mom that's so engaged. And it breaks your heart on the other side of knowing that so many kids don't have that. And you're thinking, man, how much it takes to be in there every day, and to be in there, how much it takes, and to think of how much some children don't have that breaks your heart. But to think of, to see our girls and how much they shine and how much confidence they have, because, you know, obviously they have a mom that's just so engaged in every way, from just making sure they're the healthiest they can be to spiritually, physically, mentally, every way. So just really grateful. And she doesn't farm anything out. I mean, she's engaged, and I respect that about her. And I think anybody who gets around her knows that she's a force. I mean, she's doing it all. So I appreciate that about her.
Well, every time I think of you, I think of your wife, because one of my favorite interviews ever was when you guys were in St. Louis in our studios there, and she came on the air and did the interview with you.
Yeah. It was the best time I've ever had on radio, honestly. Not just saying it because you're here, but we use that all the time as the St. Louis moment. We were in town because we showed this Worship Night in America at one of the theaters, and we did it across America. And I thought this would be fun to go to St. Louis and do it, because my relationship with you guys, and think we could talk about it the next morning and all these kind of things. And Lauren was with me; she went with me, and you know, we just had this on a whim, like, what if you were on the air with me? Would you be up for that? And she's like, I've never done that ever. I said, I know, but that's what's so good about it, I think, you know, because I do this all the time, and you do this all the time, but to have someone who's not, but I knew she was so gifted at like communicating, because she does that with women. She does that. She loves the small group kind of pouring into ladies. So I knew she would be good at it. And man, was I ever blown away? I mean, do you remember? I think I didn't say much. I mean, she was just going, and I remember the phone just started ringing because how vulnerable I think she is immediately. How vulnerable she makes me, you know, and she just takes all the shine off of things. It's like, here's what's real, and here's what we're going through, and I think people can relate to that. So I remember how beautiful and just how much we didn't get much. We didn't play much music, 'cause it was just like, let's keep talking, and people kept calling in, and I remember afterwards, my manager Anthony, we're walking to the leave, and we're walking to the car to go to the airport, and he's just like, well, Chris, thanks for getting us this far. We'll take it with Lauren from here on out.
She did all right. She did all right.
We found the new star of this show. You know, we haven't done another one of those ever. Wow. We need to do that again.
Come back.
I know.
I mean, I know y'all are a little busy right now.
Right.
Come back.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was so much fun. I have a gift for.
Oh my! Look at that bundle of joy. How brilliant! How brilliant! Love the play on the words. Love everything.
Isn't that
This
sweet?
is so good. I don't know if you can see this right here, the camera. Bundle of joy. This will be Elle is our baby's name. Elle Grace Tomlin. Elle will be wearing this, and we'll send a picture.
I was going to say, I'd love to see a picture.
We'll send a picture of you in this. She's so little, it may take a month or so for her to get into this, but
when it's time. So if I were to ask you, what's one thing that brings joy to your life right now?
That's pretty easy right now. My new little bundle of joy, like you said. Elle, I have a picture of her here.
I want to see it.
And this is from today. This was,
my goodness.
This is our picture
Are
today.
her eyes always that?
They're so big and so
bright?
bright. And even we went to with our pediatrician, she said, this girl, she's got such bright like presence. She's like, her eyes, she's just like so alert. And so with
Beautiful.
it. So Elle is.
And I bet your older daughters, are they like taking this real seriously? Like your daughter has 3 moms now, right?
It's a bit smothering right now. Poor Elle. She has a poor girl. I mean, my other daughters are just on her the whole time. I want to hold her. She's just getting passed around. She's never gonna hit the floor. She's never gonna be on the floor because she's
never gonna walk.
No, these girls are just, and so having a little older girls, and Ashlyn's 9, Madison's 6. You know, they can take care of her and help her, and so that's fun watching them because they're really loving it. And anytime she starts crying, and they both start singing and just start singing, trying to calm her down and sing. Man. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's what's been special to me for sure right now is Elle.
I can see your girl dad pride.
Yes, girl dad. Who would have ever thought?
So what are some things on a daily basis you do as a girl dad? 20 years ago, you never thought, I'm going to do what someday, right? Because I'm a girl dad, and
yes.
You now know how to do what, or you do what because you're a girl dad that you never envisioned you doing.
Yeah, what immediately comes to mind is every day Ashlyn wants to play the character game. So I was like, what's the character game? Well, the character game is you describe some Disney princess that, and I've got to guess it. And so it's okay. So Dad, character game. Anytime we're driving down, we'll play. Okay, let's go. And she's like, all right, yellow dress, black hair. I'm like, Belle. She's like, yes, Dad. And then she makes me. She goes, now what? You do one. So
you gotta.
So I've got to know. I gotta go. I've got to know the princesses. I got to know the thing. I was like, okay, this one. She has red hair, loves to swim. Mermaid. What's her name? What's the mermaid?
What is the? I only know there's a little
Ariel.
Yeah.
Ariel. I just forgot. But it's Ariel or Elsa or all these things I have to know on the spot. They're grilling me all the time on the princesses. They love that. I love, when I found out we were having Elle. We obviously that's a whole nother interview, but I almost passed out and was like. I was at a kitchen table like this, and I was like everything's spinning, and because Lauren just gave me a gift. It was in March. She gave me just a little gift, and I opened it up, and it was a pregnancy test, and we've been long past this phase. We've given everything away. We've given the cribs away. We're thinking this
and
is
just mentally moved on.
It's like, okay, this is where we are in life, and I was like, it wasn't computing. I was like, what is this? It's like pregnancy. Who's this? What is this? It was everything was like moving around, and she just kept smiling, and I was like, oh my goodness, you're serious? Like, yes. And so it took me about 3 months to get my composure, and but when we found out it's a girl, I was so surprised, and then when I found it was a girl, I was like, okay, I can do this. I've done this twice. I know I can do this. I know how the flow of girls go, and I only grew up with boys, and so I only have brothers. And so this is just amazing that in my house it's just girls and the emotions that are going.
Oh, your oldest is how old?
9.
Oh, is it?
And it's really coming. It's really coming. But now I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it more and more. It's starting to come more and more. And somebody's crying at some point. And my buddy Darren, who's pastor of my church, he's got 3 girls too, and he goes, somebody's crying in our house all the time. It's mostly me, but somebody. But yeah, these are just every day. I just laugh at myself, and Lauren will say, "Did you ever think that this would be your life?" I was like, "No, but I love it." And there's something about that daddy-daughter thing too that's special, that you have, and so I have it 3 times over now, and it goes so fast. Everybody says it, but it's a cliche for a reason. It goes so fast, and so I think of cherishing it even more with Elle because I know how fast it has gone. My other 2, and so yeah.
You know how to braid hair?
Working on braiding hair. I am
painting nails.
Yes, nails, painting nails, braiding hair, tea parties. All the things, What do you got here? Do you mean paint your nails? Mm-hmm. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Will you do it?
Oh yeah, we'll do it.
Kim, you want to come in? You're going to get...
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever painted anybody's nails?
I've painted my girls' nails.
I mean, on video or...
No.
No?
No.
As anyone other than Dad, have you ever painted anyone's nails?
No.
Are you up for this?
I'm up for it. This is so good.
Let's do. We're going to ask you some other dad questions.
While I paint nails.
Are you good with this?
Yes. You want all of them painted or just one?
You whatever you want. You're the guy in charge here.
I want to know is.
Look at that. You can tell he's done this
wow.
before. Look at the care. Look at the care.
Oh, sorry, I just got it on your finger there. I'm gonna have to have a little bit.
So is Elsa or Anna the most popular in your household?
That's a great question because now there's the third to break the tie. So it was always I'm Elsa, I'm Anna. The older sister, younger sister. So it's all this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting because it was always 50-50 because one was one. But I'd say Elsa because she's got the big songs, and so my girls love to sing, and so. How we doing here?
That's
Is that good?
Just a little on the pinky.
Yeah, we can.
And then you can go on to Kim. Are your girls? You said they like to sing.
Oh,
do you
all the
recognize
time.
some natural talent in them?
Yes, Ashlyn, my oldest, has just she sings all day long and never stops, and she's got a great voice.
How old were you when you first started? You know what I mean?
I'm just not doing near as good as you. I'm going
it's
faster,
okay.
and I've just
You're
completely,
doing great.
completely blew the pinky finger there. We're gonna make it better.
You know what?
It's
It's okay.
Were you? Did you always like to sing around the house? When did you get your guitar? When did you?
Yeah, I was 9 years old. I got mono over summer, which is funny. I had this virus that made me quarantine. Does that sound familiar? And the doctor said you have mono. You have to stay home all summer. And I was really into baseball and stuff. And I was like, of all times, this summer. And one more here. And it's just so great. This is the first.
I'm so proud of you,
Yes,
by the way.
this is
Can I just say,
amazing.
I'm so proud of you. You just leaned in and you
Thank
did it.
you.
Thank you.
It looks great, ladies.
Lovely. You
Thank
did a
you.
great job. Thank you.
Chris's nails, the yes. I was 9 years old. I got mono. My dad had to be at the house all summer, and my dad's like, "You're driving us crazy." You can imagine, being home, and he's like, "Do you want? You need to learn to do something. How about I teach you the guitar?" And in fact, he said, "Do you want to learn the guitar or the fiddle?" He goes, "I need to know by tonight." I was like, "Okay." So I was thinking about it. I said, "Guitar," and so he started teaching me every day. It was 9 years old and started just teaching me little things, how to play because he played, and that started it from right there.
I never heard that story.
Yeah, and first little songs and it was all.
Would you grab the guitar?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get my pick out.
Can we just toss out a little something something and you do a little something something?
For
Oh, you mentioned We Fall Down.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
would
one
love
you
to hear
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
just a little bit, we fall down.
And we fall down, we lay our crowns at the feet of Jesus. The greatness of mercy and love at the feet of Jesus. And we cry, holy, holy, holy. And we cry, holy, holy, holy. And we cry, holy, holy, holy is the Lamb.
How about Holy is the Lord?
Oh, yes.
I mean, if we're going big, let's go big.
We stand and lift our hands for the joy of the Lord is our strength. We bow down, worship Him now. How great, how awesome is He. Together we sing,
our God.
'Cause you're the name above all names. You are worthy of all praise. And my heart will sing how great is our God. And how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God.
So good. So good. We didn't even get to scratch the surface of all the new friendships you're having in country music.
Yeah.
The craziest thing ever.
I mean, come on.
I wasn't even, I mean, that's a whole hour's worth of just God doing things that I wasn't even trying, wasn't even looking for, and just through just these divine moments of friendship that started. One quick one, which was funny because it happened, because it turned into such a big thing this year, but I was doing, every year I do Good Friday Nashville, where we do this for around Good Friday, this night of worship for Nashville and the whole state of Tennessee, really. It's an amazing night. And I try to find a guest to come up and do something that, a surprise every year. And this past year, 2019, because 2020 didn't happen, but 2019, I kept thinking about Rhett. Kept thinking about Thomas, because I didn't know him, but I knew about him. He's very vocal with his faith. I knew he does a lot for kids who in great need, and there's adoption, all kinds of things. I was like, this guy's got a good right heart. And I just know Nashville will freak out if he walks on stage and not knowing it. And we just start doing a song. And I could not get a hold of him. His management was like steel traps. I could not, because I didn't know him. And I'm on Good Friday, get to that day. I had someone else for that night. But on that night, I get there and I'm doing sound check in the afternoon. I walk off stage, my road manager grabs me. He said, "Hey, Thomas Rhett's backstage. He wants to talk to you." And I was thinking, what? I've been trying for 6 months to get over this guy. And I walk back, and Thomas is back there standing backstage, and he said, "Hey, what if," he said, "I'm rehearsing down the way here and the arena has a little rehearsal spot, and I heard your voice over the PA, and I thought, man, I want to come meet you. And your music has meant so much to me for so long." And I was like, "Really?" And he said, I said, I've been trying to get a hold of you for a while to do this very night with me." And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Wow." He goes, "I think we should maybe do something together and maybe write a song or like record something together. Maybe we're meant to meet." And I was like, "I think so." The next week he sends me "Be a Light." And he said, "I got this little idea. You want to sing it with me, and maybe we get others." And that started this whole kind of thing. And then I started meeting all these other guys, and it was just so cool. And so all those things, you see God just put things together that you didn't even see coming. And so all these relationships I can go down the list of every person on the record and I have a story about all of them. Like, what? And so fun. But yeah, that was a fun project to make. Something again, if you had told me 20 years ago you've been making this record, I'd be like, what? That's not even, I don't even understand that. And yeah, it's really fun. So I was just I tell people with this past album, I just kind of felt like I was in the river, like where the current God was taking me, and I just was like, okay, I'm going, because I am not trying to do this, and doors keep opening, and all these guys that I thought were one thing are coming to me and saying, "Hey, your music was a big influence, and I really want to do something that brings glory to God. I'd love to do it with you." And just at the same time, I was like, okay, let's do this, and let's do something really fun and special. And it's been amazing, fun.
Full circle. You see it. Where did we start talking here? 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing something that's not been done,
Yeah.
and God just does something you
Yeah.
never saw. Like you're there again,
It's there.
or still.
Completely.
right?
Completely. And I thought, this is out of my control, and it's a time, whatever God has for this time to do this, and giving me these relationships, and let's do this and see if we can. And it's been beautiful. When we released the Chris Tomlin and Friends, I didn't know how it was going to go. I thought, because every record I've made is worship music, and this is not. And I thought, well, how's this going to go? I knew I'd have some naysayers, but it was amazing. One of the first comments back to back was, somebody posted, I never have liked country music, so I didn't think I would like this. But I really like these guys, and I'm checking out some of their music. The next comment was, I've never liked Christian music. From somebody else. But so I didn't think I would like this, but I'm checking Chris's music out. Wow. So to see the worlds come together, even though a lot of the audience is the same, there's a lot that we've seen our from comments to the responses of people grow in such a way of people who would never listen to my music have discovered it because they like Florida Georgia Line or something like that, and the vice versa. So it's been really interesting to see that.
Well, let's get our phones out. 20
Okay.
years from today, same place, same. Let's hook up again.
40, celebrating we'll
And
celebrate
let's
40.
Just see what God does in the next 20.
Right.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Because there's no way.
Oh, who would have ever thought?
Who would have known?
We'd be on this, and to you guys as well. I'm sure you could, if I was doing the interview, you could say all the things of wow, who would have known this? Who would have thought this 20 years ago? We're starting to today. All the influences, got all the voice that you have been for so many for so long, and to think that of all the different things that are, especially in our world right now, the turmoil and all the things, and the voice the steady voice, the voice of comfort, the voice of grace, the voice of mercy, the voice of truth, all those things that you guys get to be, you get to be personally, and then the whole station gets to be. Man, what a needed time, right, for voices out there that are really speaking God's love to people and hearing people and letting people be heard. And man, it's so awesome.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
20 more years, let's hook up and look back and go, man, look what God did.
Right.
Sing a few more songs and just celebrate who
Right.
He is.
Yeah, we'll see where the songs are at that point.
Your daughters are going to be a little bit older.
Woo!
You're going to be walking them down. Well, that's for another
Oh.
interview. Well, we'll say that for another interview. I
Think about that.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, thank you.